Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beers tonight that we're going for are these two. It is Proper Job and Harper's IPA from Aldi. What are we doing tonight with two beers? Well, it's a comparison video. We've got two beers that are functionally the same, 5.5% IPAs. And like I say, even the branding is similar. Obviously, you look at Proper Job versus IPA from Harper's at Aldi. And you can see they're very, very similar. Clearly, Aldi are doing their usual rip off everything they can to gain some sales. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a glamorous assistant today because I'm going to be blindfolded. And what we're doing here is a blindfold side-by-side test. I'm not going to know which beer is going to be in which glass. I'm just going to be sort of passed a beer and say which one I prefer. I'm going to do the usual comparisons, of course, but I'm not going to know which is which, so we'll see which one comes out on top. So my son is going to be doing the pouring and passing today because, like I say, trying to do that blindfold will be a bit of a disaster. So I've got two glasses, different in style. I've got my beer festival glass and I've got a teku. I'm not going to know which beer has been poured into which, and yeah, we're going to go from there. But unusually, we're going to start with some of the scores first of all. So we got on the aide memoir that the Proper Jobs had a huge number of check-ins, 82,700 versus only 506 for the Harper's IPA. Slightly more score for the Proper Job at 3.45, slightly less for the Harper's IPA, 3.31. So they're pretty close in the grand scheme of things. And my scoreboard of joy, you've got St Austell on the left, Aldi on the right. We're going to, I say I'm not going to fill it in because I'm going to be blindfolded and I won't be able to see anything for love nor money. So Josh is going to put a 1 in which side I prefer. I say which side I prefer. He's going to know which side I prefer. I won't. So just for clarity, Josh, St Austell, Proper Job, Aldi, Harper's IPA. So you have to remember which one goes where. So without further ado, I'm going to leave this on my lap with the chalk of destiny. And I'm going to blindfold myself with a scarf that came from the greatest rugby club in the world, the Saracens. As you can tell how old this scarf is. It's world-class rugby at Watford back in the day. So, without further ado, we're going to get blindfolded and proceed. Now, this is, of course, a bit tricky because this is a big scarf and it covers the entirety of my boat race. So, I've got to do that. Now, Josh is going to try and stick some fingers up on screen, and I'm going to try and see how many he's holding up for clarity. Are you holding up any fingers? I couldn't say. I couldn't even tell you how many I'm holding up. Anyway, right. Josh, without further ado, I want you to grab one beer and one glass and show them clearly on camera so we know which one is going first.
Okay. So
Has that been established?
Not yet.
Okay, get it going. Come on, bring on the beer.
This beer that I shall not say is going in this glass. I really like this glass.
Right, so pop the top and pour a little bit in. And by a little bit, I mean about that much. Try not to get a monster head.
Okay, so just so you know that it is going in.
Tilt the glass slightly if you haven't already.
I think I do know how to pour.
No, but just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay, so
that beer is in that glass.
here you go, Father. You've now got your beer.
Pour the other one into the other glass.
Okay.
And establish it on camera again, just to be sure.
I think everyone now knows what beer is going in which. So, this beer that I still shall not name is going in this glass. Again, pour slightly.
About the same amount, give or take.
It's about the same. I'm not sure if they feel the same way.
Right, okay. So, this was the first beer. I'm going to do the sniff test first of all to see which I prefer. Can't do the looks because I'm currently not able to see. We'll do that one last. Hoppy, light. citrusy. A little bit of lemon and grapefruit. It's kind of hard not to know how far to stick my schnoz in. But yeah, hoppy, citrusy, light. This one, it's hoppy. It smells slightly more acidic. Not as citrusy. Bit more malty. So, more hoppy, more malty. This one's much more citrusy.
Do you want to guess?
No, I'm not guessing.
Okay.
I need you to pick up the chalkboard of joy and remember which one was St Austell and which one was Aldi. I want to give the points for the aroma to this one.
Okay,
I prefer the aroma of this one.
The chalk's not.
It's alright, just put a 1 in the side that it's got the point.
Done.
Okay, the next one is the body test. So again, we're going to go for this one first of all.
Okay, so just so the people know.
Okay, so it's well carbonated, light to medium, decent mouthfeel. This one, very similar, but slightly smoother.
So, point to the second one I gave.
Hang on. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
So you
I'm going to give the point to this one.
done?
Okay, the taste test, obviously we've already done the tasting, but so this one is hoppy. It is light, clean, fresh tasting, slightly lemony, and there is a malt profile behind it. It's quite pleasant. It sits behind the hop, so this one is definitely nice and hop forward, whereas this one, it's a little blander. It's a little more malty, less citrusy, and overall neither are how can I put it? Neither are particularly bitter. But I give the point to this one.
Again.
Okay. Yeah. This one's definitely more hoppy and more citrusy,
So
which overall is a good thing for me. Don't get me wrong, I like a balanced IPA. I do like the malt profile of this one. But when I'm going for beer of this style, I prefer the hops, and this one has got more of the hop presence. So the final one that I can do without my eyeballs is the finish. So on a beer of this style, as always, I'm looking for hops, longevity, bitterness, and in an ideal world, a little bit of pine resin. But we're in the realms of trad IPA style beer, so you don't get a huge amount of it. But for this one, it is light. It's not overly bitter. It's quite a sweet finish, and it is relatively long lasting, and there's a very, very subtle hint of pine. So subtle you'd miss it, but it's quite nice. Whereas this one, see, this one's got a touch more bitterness, and the hops are really not there on the back end until that really starts to fade and the malt sweetness goes away, at which point the bitterness is present on this one. So this one gets the points.
That's quite surprising.
So now I can tell just by how I was drinking the beer, there's not a huge amount in the glasses. So is there enough in there for me to look at?
Yeah.
There
I
it
would
is.
say so.
Enough.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I need you now to just hide the scoreboard so I can't see it.
I'm dropping this chalk.
It's all right. Don't worry about that. Oh, back into the world of the bright light. There we go. There's the camera. Right. So we're on the visuals. Okay. And on a beer of this stuff, I like colour. I do. I like clarity. I like colour. And this one's a little bit darker, which I like. I like the look of. This one has got, even though that there is very little head left on it, it has got better head retention. This one, it looks like it should have better body, whereas this one, oh, I think I'm going to give the point to this one because of the head retention, because of the clarity. This one just looks a little bit darker. I don't want to see the scoreboard of joy. I don't need to see the scoreboard of joy because I'm going to make a guess of which one is which. Right, so based on the citrus presence and the visuals, I'm going to say this one is the St. Austell and this one is the Aldi. So this one got 3 points. Did he get 3 points? 4 points.
4 points.
This one got a single point. So I'm saying the single point beer was the Aldi beer. Can you reveal to me the scoreboard of joy?
Drum roll, please. Not.
Hey, I was right. 4-1 to the St. Austell.
He was very correct.
Hey, 4-1. Happy days. So, yeah, it's fun experiment. Nothing more, nothing less. So, just for my sanity, we're just going to neck the rest of the darker beer and pour a little more of this one, which should be that darker colour. It is. Look at that. Honesty prevails. A little bit darker there. Look at that. It is quite a nice looking beer. I'll give it that. It's just a shame it didn't have the head retention of the St. Austell, which when we top it off, and it's a bottle conditioned beer, so we have to be careful. And I forgot to tell you this, Josh. You have to be careful when pouring one. And that explains why it's got the better head retention quite clearly. You could look at it. It's a lovely looking beer. And yeah, fun experiment nonetheless. There's nothing scientific about it. It's all subjective. And yeah, sometimes...
It's all opinion.
Exactly, it is. It's all opinion. And sometimes you can find a good beer at a bargain price. And let's be honest, I'd be happy drinking either of these. But, I do prefer, clearly, the St. Austell Proper Job. £1.80 a bottle versus whatever the Harper's IPA is. I'll stick it in the description below, all the links to the relevant places where you can buy it. And yeah, I think it was about £1.30, something like that in Aldi. Lidl will get very upset at me telling me that, and as with Aldi. Anyway, these have been the beers. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And before I go and say I'll see you soon for the next one, I want to say a big thank you to my glamorous assistant, Josh, who is there somewhere. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.